Our content is created to empower our viewers to take actionable steps to improve their lives. In this episode of Stop My Crisis with Vivian Gaspar,
we hear about people retiring to Florida, for instance. We always say, boy, palm trees, and it's going to be beautiful, and they're going to be right on the beach. The truth is the vast majority of people who move to Florida are living inland in less than desirable circumstances. A lot of people want to work in retirement. We're just hoping to help you not have to work.
It should be a choice.
It should be a choice. Your retirement's going to go 20, 30, 40 years. You're making decisions that are going to impact the rest of your life. So do it once, get it done the right way, and then enjoy your retirement.
Damian, thank you so much for being here to educate all our viewers on what to do, but more importantly, how do they plan in all facets for this golden time of their lives, which could be now extended to 20, 30 years or more as people live longer?
Thanks for having me, Vivian. I'm thrilled to be here. We've worked with countless families and individuals. We're able to assist them in any facet, be it income, be it healthcare, be it nursing care, home health care, whatever it might be, we're able to assist.
I think many people do not understand the difference between what you do, which is protect assets and help people prepare for the actual time of retirement, versus all the years that they're working from right after college to into their 50s and maybe 60s. Tell me, what is the difference?
Well, that's a great question. The accumulation that you're striving for throughout your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on, that you're putting through 401ks on a weekly basis or IRAs whenever you can afford it, it's going in incrementally, and your goal is to build a big nest egg. The 401k specialists, the wirehouses, or those larger brokers, they are accumulation specialists. They're there to help you build that nest egg, and most of them are fantastic at what they do. Where we come in is what happens when you retire or are preparing for retirement. How do you distribute those assets? And in that arena, we're second to none. We're very comfortable there. Don't forget the large wirehouses and management groups. They want you to keep your money with them because they're paid on a fee basis based on assets under management. We're looking to take those assets and distribute them to you and your spouse over the course of your life, be it another 30 or 40 years, like you said earlier.
Damian, when is the best time for someone to move away from their financial planner services into your retirement planning services?
That's a very subjective situation. A lot of people will work with us and retain some of their assets with that planner. Some of the planners actually refer business to us, and the clients come to us through those planners or those reps from the wirehouses. Coming to us, we're repositioning assets. We're not looking to take over necessarily your brokerage account. That's not our forte. So if people are in stocks, I would never tell someone to leave a particular stock. For instance, you have Amazon or Kraft Foods or whatever it might be. I would never say that's not a good place for you to be. But what we do say is you have item A, B, C, and D, and we have to address these to protect your assets, to provide health care coverage, to make sure all your legal documents are in place. There's a whole host of reasons to come with us, but to leave your other person isn't necessarily the case. We will work with those people as well.
What happens when someone comes to your office for the first time? Let's say they refer to your services.
The individual or the couple will schedule an appointment. We'll send them paperwork that we'll need them to complete. Kind of like a doctor when you're sitting in the waiting room for the first time, you're filling out an intake form. And we're not asking you to bring statements and this and that to that first meeting. What we are asking you, though, is to give us an overview of who you are. We're going to sit with you for 45 minutes to an hour in that first meeting. We're going to just take information from you. We're going to find out what your goals are, what your dreams are. Your second meeting, when you come along, you'll bring those documents. You'll bring your legal documents. You'll also bring your statements from, for instance, your 401k plan. long-term care policy, whatever it might be. And we'll do an inventory. We'll see how those assets will work with each other. And then we'll see where you may be lacking and we can assist you. We'll also discuss with you things like debt, things like adult children. You know, you've got a lot of adult children moving back into the home nowadays.
I hope people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s aren't necessarily going to plan to stay there that long.
It's going to depend on how easy mom and dad make it for you to stay there.
Don't offer to watch the children, grandchildren
exactly.
too much or do their laundry.
Exactly. There's a whole host of things other than insurances and protections and so on and so forth that you should really at least have a discussion about. Most people haven't, and fully 90% of the people who come to our office and sit with us through their second, maybe third meeting end up doing something with us because everybody needs assistance. That 10% who don't do something, they're not going to do anything with anybody, but we're going to find your needs and address them.
I think people should really look to work with someone like you, especially because you don't want to be 75 years old working because you went through your money in the first few years. So unfortunately, I think no one wants that thought in their mind that that's even a possibility. Mm-hmm. And I really believe that what you're doing prevents that or minimizes the likelihood.
Well, a lot of people want to work in retirement. We're just hoping to help you not have to work.
It should be a choice.
It should be a choice.
Well, there's many more people becoming centurions, living into their 90s and many past 100. Mm-hmm. I think many people are concerned with outliving how much money they have saved. So where is it you typically come into this picture?
Well, it's funny you bring that up. We spoke earlier. The three biggest concerns for senior citizens are, number one, outliving their money, number two, healthcare, and number three, dying. Outliving your money is the biggest concern, and we see it all the time. People will retire, and the next day they're throwing a giant party or they're taking 15 grandchildren to Disney World.
Please tell me that's an exaggeration or hyperbole that you're taking 10, 20 people to Disney. I'm sure you could blow through a lot of money quickly that way.
Well, some people, they want to reward themselves and their family for their 40 or 50 years of hard work. The problem is that money that you have is set aside for retirement. Very few people are saving in a 401k plan to buy a boat. You know, do you go do something nice for yourself? Sure, but you're not going to take 25, 30% of your hard-earned lifetime savings to go on one trip or to buy a brand new car. What you're doing is you're going to sit with us first. You're going to address all the issues that are going to come up with retirement in addition to the financial picture, and then you'll go on that trip.
Coming up after this commercial break.
He started with $600,000, we'll say on June 1st. The following June 1st, he had $116,000 left. And,
oh my God.
And he had to pay tax on
over $400,000.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
Facebook marketing is a very, very common way to get clients these days. There is so much money spent online. It is increasing year after year after year, and it still is. And as a business owner, you don't want to miss out on that huge spending value that is in that market. Therefore, you need to be an online presence. I take people from having no knowledge and no Facebook page to having 10,000 fans.
We're told that nothing is certain except death and taxes. But what about life and taxes? Shouldn't we all be leveraging the experience and knowledge of a tax expert in order to enrich our lives with a maximized strategy for our taxes? Create your certainty. Contact Kendall Ludden, tax preparer and refund strategist. Let Kendall Ludden help you today.
Hi, my name is Tamika Murray, and I am the author of this lovely book here, Crying, Learning, and Laughing, and you are watching VRR.TV.
Have you ever come across anyone who met you too late?
Oh, yeah.
That may have had a little bit of a planning snafu?
Oh, I've got a great story. I had a guy, he came to me after the fact. He retired with $600,000.
That sounds like not too bad. Pretty decent. Depends what he did.
It's above average, believe it or not.
That's pretty good.
Yep. He went out and bought himself a brand new Cadillac. And then he took 24 family members to Italy for 2 weeks.
24 family members to Italy.
When he started with $600,000, we'll say on June 1st, the following June 1st, he had $116,000 left. And
oh my God.
And he had to pay tax on
over $400,000.
Oh, sure.
In less than a year.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
He sounded like he won the lottery where he just had all this money to blow and it would be an indefinite resource.
That's a lot of people think that they'll never run out or it'll always be there for them or things will be fine regardless.
What about inflation, rising medical costs?
That's the last thing on a lot of people's minds. So what our job is to ground them and to show them the reality of what those dollars can do for them and what those dollars can't do for them.
So what's an example of it can't do?
Well, if you have $200,000 in life savings, and we will say for now you could take $1,000 for this conversation, $1,000 a month, coupled with your Social Security, you might only have $3,000 or $4,000 a month in retirement. If your bills are $5,000, you can't pay your bills based on that. So what do you do? Do you downsize? Do you sell your home? I was just going to say, what
about downsizing your expenses? Yeah. A lot of people flee to less expensive areas to live in to retire.
In New Jersey, the tri-state area, a lot of people are what they call house rich. So they purchased their house 30 years ago for $50,000, $100,000, and they're selling them for $600,000, $700,000. If they stay in New Jersey, they're not going to find something that's significantly lower other than a 55 and over community way south from here. If you go to Florida, for instance, or South Carolina, you might be able to buy a beautiful home for $200,000.
Well, it depends if you have a country club fee.
That's one of the things we speak to people about. We talk about their lifestyles. If you own a boat, you know that your boat's going to cost you $20,000 a year.
I'm laughing because you know what they say about boats.
Oh, yeah.
The best 2 days of having a boat is the day you get it, the day you get rid of it.
Yeah. It's a very expensive endeavor. But when we speak, we say, are you going to be able to stay at your country club or are you going to play the counties? When you go fishing, are you going to own a boat or are you going to fish off the jetties? You're going to make those decisions at some point. The money isn't necessarily always there. When we hear about people retiring to Florida, for instance, we always say, boy, palm trees, and it's going to be beautiful, and they're going to be right on the beach. The truth is the vast majority of people who move from New Jersey or New York down to Florida are living inland in less than desirable circumstances, certainly not what everybody thinks or what they envisioned. And we actually have a lot of people moving back from Florida.
If someone finds themselves or their spouse in a situation where they will need to go into a long-term care facility, is there special planning that should have taken place to help with that financial burden that could be quite extensive?
Well, the financial burden is huge. The average cost in New Jersey is about $12,000 per month.
Not a year, per month.
Per month. So a lot of people will try to address these things at home and bring a nurse in, for instance, or they'll go from home health care to an assisted living facility, then to a nursing home. The policies that are out there today, they're addressing any one of those areas, but you have to be healthy in order to qualify for one of those. So if you're looking to purchase something because you need it that day or you need it in the near future, no insurance company is going to
That's insurance. That's when it's too late. Damian, when does Social Security start and how much will you receive?
Well, Social Security starts anytime after the age of 62. If you're a widow, of course, there's different rules, widow or widower, but age 62 all the way up to age 70. So it's going to depend on when you're going to pull the trigger and actually initiate or start your Social Security.
What factor contributes to what age you want to start your Social Security benefits received?
The typical response you're going to get is whenever you're retiring, but fully 2/3 of all Americans begin to collect their Social Security or draw their Social Security at age 62. There are a lot of penalties involved there if you're still working after 62. So you've got some decisions to make. And like you said earlier, your retirement's going to go 20, 30, 40 years. You're making decisions that are going to impact the rest of your life. So do it once, get it done the right way, and then enjoy your retirement.
Do you recommend that people wait as long as they can to start receiving Social Security benefits?
Again, it's on a case-by-case basis, but in most cases, yes.
When I die, will my spouse receive both mine and their Social Security benefits?
No. And going back to the age 62, if you start early, your spouse is going to receive the higher of the two Social Securities. So, for instance, if spouse number one collects $2,000, spouse number two collects $1,500. When spouse number one dies, spouse number two collects spouse number one's $2,000, and his or her $1,500 goes away. So the greater of the two is what you're going to receive.
Coming up after this commercial break.
A very common mistake is to take your 401k, leave it with your current employer, or leave it in these aggressive growth funds that you invested in when you were 25 years old.
To reach any goal, you need to have a plan.
Learn the latest secrets from the expert.
We have a program that's called FacebookCashMachinePro.com, where I teach people how to use Facebook for the lead generation machine.
Leverage Lise Gottlieb's custom-tailored system to build your business. Focus on the essential steps to grow your business utilizing FacebookCashMachinePro.com.
Hi, my name is Tamika Murray, and I am the author of this lovely book here, Crying, Learning, and Laughing, and you are watching VRR.TV.
We're told that nothing is certain except death and taxes. But what about life and taxes? Shouldn't we all be leveraging the experience and knowledge of a tax expert in order to enrich our lives with a maximized strategy for our taxes? Create your certainty. Contact Kendall Ludden, tax preparer and refund strategist. Let Kendall Ludden help you today.
Damian, can I work and still collect Social Security simultaneously?
You can work and collect Social Security. However, if you're still actively working and earning more than $18,000 in change, you're going to pay significant penalties in addition to the taxes. So our job is to show you how to take your different income streams, be it Social Security, employment, 401ks, and so on and so forth, and to tie all those things together. This is a giant puzzle, and we're identifying the different pieces and showing you how to put them together into this mosaic that is your retirement. What happens is when you're working, you're receiving one paycheck. So every month, for instance, you get $8,000. When you go into retirement, you're going to have multiple income streams. You're going to have your Social Security, perhaps a pension, perhaps 401k distributions, IRAs, inheritances, part-time jobs, whatever they might be. And we take all those and piece them together for you and show you what effect a death may happen. Because sooner or later, you or your spouse is going to go first. When that happens, what happens to the survivor? How is their income impacted? There's a whole lot of stuff here that we need to discuss with people one-on-one because everybody's situation is different. And we've spent 35 years fine-tuning.
5 years you've been there?
35 years. So we
cool.
meet with approximately 700 or 800 people annually. And myself, my partners and staff, we're prepared, and we're meeting with people on an annual basis as well, because their lives are changing on a regular basis as well in retirement, just like they do pre-retirement. Understanding Social Security is a great advantage we have, because if you make the wrong choice in Social Security, you might have a $300,000, $400,000 mistake. And once you've made that mistake, and it's past a 12-month period of time, you can't go back and reverse it. So we're preparing it's a 20-page Social Security report specific to you. Again, not cookie cutter. Everybody out there has a different situation. I've never run into two people that they had the exact same circumstances. I'd like to say we've seen it all.
What are the highest level nuanced details that someone should know to navigate Social Security in relationship with how it works together with Medicare?
Well, first and foremost, Medicare begins at age 65. Not talking about disability, I'm talking about typical retiree Medicare begins at age 65, the first day of the month of your 65th birthday. Social Security, as we spoke about earlier, could start as early as 62 and go all the way up to 70. So Medicare Part A is automatic, and that's your hospital portion. That starts at age 65 or that first of the month. Part B will start when you're either retired and you no longer have health insurance. Remember, there's no COBRA available if you're 65 and over. So you could stay on your group plan, for instance, but we're going to want to know in advance because you want to have a seamless transition from your group medical to your Medicare. So in a generic world, Medicare would start at your 65th birthday.
What is Medicare Supplemental? I mean, I hear ads for it all over the radio.
Well, there's two types of plans. One is an Advantage plan. The other is a Medigap plan. Advantage plan is an HMO. You're going to use that group's physicians. Could be Aetna, could be any number of companies. The Medigap policies are all contractually the same thing. It would be Plan G or Plan N, whatever the different plan is. Doesn't matter what the company is. These plan designs are created by Medicare, and the companies who participate will utilize those plan designs. So you can go to any doctor you want. If you've got Medicare A and B, and your doctor takes Medicare, your doctor takes the Medigap policy. 95% of the policies we write are Medigap policies, not the HMO Medicare.
So your financial management for your clients also helps them fill these gaps financially.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we work in Social Security, Medicare, other health care, but long-term care. We have attorneys we work with. We have CPAs we work with.
Now, in relationship to attorneys, I've got to ask, this is really important because you recommend that people not just get their finances in order for the dollars and cents of it, but what is the ramification if you don't put power of attorneys, POAs, into effect?
You're going to want the bank to have your power of attorney available so your child or your sister, whomever it may be, can come in and assist. You need that power of attorney for financial purposes more than anything else. But you also have what we call a living will. The living will is critical. You're in the hospital and you might not want to be put on life support. The physicians, and if any of you have been to the hospital, they ask you right away, do you have a living will? If you don't, they have an obligation to keep you alive. You may not want to be on life support. So that's something to concern yourself with as well. But you also want your spouse being able to instruct the physician as to how he or she wants to address how to treat you if you're unconscious or if you're unable to make decisions on your own.
I'd really like to know, what is the most common mistake that people make or something they forget to plan for?
Well, the most common mistake, number one, is taking Social Security too early at age 62 or prior to your full retirement age, which is typically 66 to 67 years old. The other very common mistake is to take your 401k, leave it with your current employer, or leave it in these aggressive growth funds that you invested in when you were 25 years old. That money's going to last you your lifetime. We are going to help you protect the principal. We're also going to guarantee your retirement income.
And how about budgeting? Is it something that you normally do to show people how their budgeting should change when they're not working than their normal lifestyle when they had been working?
Their first bit of homework is we ask them to prepare a budget. And without any question whatsoever, 30% of whatever your budget is, we inflate it 30%. Everybody forgets about Christmas. They forget about their trips. They forget about daycare that they're helping their grandchildren. They forget about all these things. Plus, expenses like a new roof, a new car, whatever it might be. You have to plan for big expenses. You have to plan for emergencies. Inflation's a whole another conversation.
It's a mathematical calculation.
We'll do that one on the next show. Yeah.
I think that this has been a very eye-opening conversation for me because I a thought, like a lot of people may think, that once you have a financial planner that you start with hopefully in your 20s or 30s, that they are the person you go to into your 80s, 90s, or even past 100. They never change. But now I understand the difference between accumulating wealth mode to the wealth disbursement mode. And now I know there's two different experts for that. So thank you for helping all of us understand that huge difference.
No, and I'm thrilled to be here. I love what I do. And to be able to communicate it to a vast audience is wonderful. We're looking forward to seeing some of your viewers.
And this has been amazing. And that is how you stop your crisis.